I'm sure we all have been very much enriched by their contributions. I would also want to thank the audience for your continuing interest in the discussions all morning. Last but not least, of course, once again, join all in expressing our appreciation to Executive Governor, His Excellency Rotimi Amechi, for this initiative, which has been accepted as very timely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, I think we can appreciate Ibn Chambers a lot more better than this. Thank you very much to all the panelists. We are indeed very indebted. Please, I'm sorry, 1 minute. We would like the panelists to remain here. We would like to take a group photograph with all of you so that we can post it on the Sands of Time that indeed in Rivers State, there was a certain day that you contributed your quota to the growth of this economy. So please, let's invite His Excellency the Governor to please join them for a group photograph. And after that, we shall be settling down for lunch. And for your information, lunch is served on the first floor upstairs. You'll be led to the centers. Energy, Environment and Investment Forum, Port Harcourt 2014. These were the men that contributed their knowledge to ensuring that indeed Rivers State and indeed Nigeria is made a better place for all of us. Africa is going to reap from the bounties of this day. It is an opportunity well spent. Thank you very much for this momentous occasion. Please, a round of applause for them one more time. Time for lunch. This way, sir. Thank you very much. Anderson, please. Please, we have protocol officers that will be leading all the dignitaries to their various points for the lunch. And please, if you've not been called, please remain where you are. They will come back to get you to the various points where you're supposed to have lunch.
Well, we're doing this forum. It's been organized at the state level. And one of the issues being analyzed here, things that, you know, people would think will be taken up at the national level. For instance, we're talking about the environment, we're talking about energy. There are areas where you have little or no power in terms of regulation. How does that affect what it is that you're doing?
Well, what you're doing is bring it to their knowledge. You know, they're pretending not to know what's going on. So you let them know that if you're not seeing, people are bringing it to you. Just imagine the issue of free and fair election and transparency. The president and the federal government are pretending as if they don't know that it is important to organize a transparent election. Look at what the gentleman Rubin said about Boko Haram. He said this government, he didn't say, it wasn't diplomatic, he was a diplomat. He said this government is pretending not to know that they have to confront Boko Haram. And they have 3 ways to go about it. Either not to go out doing that at all as they're doing now, that's what he said. Or go ahead with what they are doing where there's policy inconsistency. Tomorrow is amnesty, next tomorrow is military solution. The other day we are talking about discussion or negotiation and all that. We need to be firm. We need to decide what do we want to do with Boko Haram. How do we want to address them? All these things you are put before the public. It's in the public space. Let the public engage in discussion.
Well, the question, this is the first annual one you're organizing. What exactly was the essence for your administration?
I've told you first is, look, we want to show the world that Port Harcourt has a new face. If these prime ministers and presidents can agree to come, then it's no longer as bad as it is. Second, there are issues we brought before the public here, and we brought before the president and the federal government and Nigerians. Should Nigeria continue the way it is now, or should there be a change? And I think there should be a change, both in terms of personnel and in terms of style of administration.
And how would you say that you've set the precedence for that in terms of the goals that you've been able to set for yourselves in terms of energy and environment?
Now you ask, why is the power in Port Harcourt not functioning when we have a total of 545 megawatts and the requirement of power in Port Harcourt is 400 megawatts? Simple bad policies at the federal level. They're not allowing. You need to democratize power itself. Not to say we've gone to companies, we've done this. If Rivers Government can generate 545, the reason why the power is not in everybody's house is the transmission lines. You won't believe that even our own transmission lines has been seized by the federal government. You won't believe that we are supplying the Rivers people power for the past 5 years, and federal government is collecting the money through NEPA, and they have not paid us 1 naira.
How does that tie in with the environment as well?
Well, for us, we are using the cleanest energy source, gas. So you can't even charge us for not using the right energy source. But we are saying that we are not taking people's money to fund for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is the Rivers people's money.
Oh, Your Excellency, thank you for speaking with us. Well, I'm now speaking with Mr. Dakuku Peterside, who is a member of the House of Representatives. Mr. Peterside, you've heard some of the issues being discussed here today. Regulation, policy formulation, and even the laws are some of the things that, are some of the, as one of the bedrock that people believe that, a sound policy will be founded upon. The PIB is one of the areas that, yes, the PIB is one of the sore areas that people believe that energy, could actually make plenty of progress on. What would you say that, our legislators are doing about that?
Well, before I come to the issue of the PIB, is the fact that it's generally acknowledged that energy has a critical role to play in economic development. If we truly want to expand opportunities for our people in commerce, in industry, in virtually all spheres of life, then we must get energy right. Incidentally, we are not getting energy right because we focus too much on hydrocarbon. Indeed, we are endowed with enough hydrocarbon, but that's not the only source of energy. Mind you, we've got a lot to do with wind, we've got other sources of energy, solar energy, and the rest of them. All of that is not being explored. But again, let's focus on the PIB. Clearly, I've said this repeatedly, I'd like to say it again, that the PIB will be passed before the end of the lifespan of the current legislature. That will be done. But beyond the PIB is the fact that there are too many other things in the sector we're not getting right. Virtually every other day, we have issues with transparency, with accountability of even the bigger resources we have or what we currently have on ground. That is not being given adequate attention. That's not being addressed. But again, if the focus is PIB, I think we've made a lot of progress. We've done first reading in both chambers, done second reading in both chambers. Right now, the PIB has been committed to the committee stage, and I hope that by the time we resume, after the long break that will take place in August, we'll be able to give PIB considerable attention and get it passed and let it get to become law. But like I've always said, PIB is not a one solution that solves all problems. It will certainly not solve all our problems in this country. It's very critical, it's germane, it's strategic, it's important, but it won't solve all the problems. There are problems that we need to give attention. We should give attention to those issues. Issues of transparency, issues of accountability, issues of management of the natural resources we have. PIB will perhaps increase our take. PIB will address the issues of the environment and other issues, but it won't solve all our problems.
Well, I'm tempted to ask you more questions on the PIB. We understand that it's going to be divided into two now. Some maybe areas of policies attended to first, the less controversial areas attended to first, and then maybe areas of controversy will be thrashed out even more thoroughly. Are you really considering that?
We're not considering that. If you ask me, we've made a lot of progress in the issue of PIB. We've gotten a lot of parties to agree to shift positions. Now, for example, let me take the issue of the community take or community participation in the upstream sector. Our brothers from the north are concerned that those of us from the Niger Delta or the people from the Niger Delta are getting a lot already. And so why give them more stake in the oil and gas industry? But with better explanation that they tend to understand. They've made specific requests. They've asked for an independent frontier agency that is funded by government. That we're also considering too. Now, before now, we've said, listen, frontier exploration is basically an investment. It's basically a commercial enterprise, and that only those who think it's profitable should go into it. And of course, if they invest in it, they will get benefit. They profit from it. But right now, they're pushing us to say, listen, get government to invest in frontier exploration. And we've shifted our position to those of us from the southern part of the country.